This will be a quick video to show you kind of how you might look for some articles and the process I use when I start looking for scholarly articles. I'm going to start with Google Scholar, and my topic is going to be ARDS, and then I'm going to use the AND, so those Boolean operators, to help me kind of narrow things down. And then I'm going to do APRV, and let's see what we get based on that. Alright, so we've got quite a bit of stuff here, and it's not a bad idea to look at some of these. Like this one's from Critical Care Medicine, so I can tell this is an article. Here's one from Respiratory Care Magazine, so I know these are going to be articles. And I may or may not be able to get full text articles for these, but I can say find it at Boise State. So it may say it wants me to pay. I can just put find it at Boise State, and look, it's going to link me right to the article. So if I go there, now I've got the PDF copy of that. And I like to work from the PDFs because then I can search them, or the formatting seems to be nicer on them. They're basically the same way that they would be in the journal. So that's a quick way to go. We've got the complete article. Okay, I'm going to go back to Google Scholar up here. Whoops, maybe I closed out of it. That isn't good. And let's do that same thing. I'm going to do ARDS and APRV. And right here we've already found, here's one of the most important articles on this. And again, you've got PDF access, but usually if you click on that first one, it may make you pay for it, but it's worth trying right there. So that's the nice thing of Google Scholar, is it links you directly to either the library or to a PDF copy of the article. Okay, let's go to, here's airway pressure relief for the treatment of ARDS in obese patient. This is a different one because it's in critical care shock. So this is going to be a different article, and it's a case report. So you've got an article there that you could use. All right. This one might be a good one to get background information. And it wants me to log in, or if I go back here, this one doesn't look like it's easily available at Boise State, but sometimes I can write down or cut and paste this title. So I'm going to highlight this title. Not the whole thing, just the title. Oh, maybe. I'm just going to right-click my mouse and that'll let me copy it. Now I'm going to go to Boise State, and I'm going to do a search for an article, and I'll just put that title in there and see what I come up with. And it didn't come up with the exact one. It did do a comparison of high frequency and airway release ventilation. So there's a few things that might come up here. Okay, let me go back just to that generic article thing. So make sure you're in articles and do that same thing. I'm going to put in my search terms. So I'm going to put in, I could do acute lung injury, and to look for the whole phrase, remember you use the quotation marks and that Boolean operator because I want it to look for both of these things, ARDS. And let's see what we get that way. So we've got some of those articles we've already found before, and transfusion related really isn't one I want. I could look for it by year, and look how popular at least the term airway pressure release ventilation is. And I'll just scroll through these really quick and look for tell you what, let's put it down to, oh, I put ARDS. APRV. I was like, wow, these look like they're all, there we go. So now we've got articles up here, and look, in 2011, I could focus on a specific year by clicking those little tabs over at the left. So here's one that was just on, looks like a patient. Here is an article that was in respiratory care, and it looks like it's a fairly long number of pages with a discussion that goes after it, so I might click on that one. And it's waiting to tell me, is this going to be something that's in the library? So I'm going to wait for that. Okay, and it says I can find it for full text access, or I can just click find it here. And whenever possible, if it says link to article, that's what you want to click on. So I want to click on that article. And then you've got this article right here. So you can have the PDF or the hypertext markup language. If you own respiratory care or you're a member of the AARC, you'd have access through the journal too. So that would be one way. I'm going to go back to this list. So I went up to my tabs up here. I'm going to go back to my list and go back button. I want to go back to that list of articles again. And I'm going to look through this and see, here's APRV in acute respiratory distress syndrome, and it's a fairly recent article. It looks like it's 8 pages long. So I say, okay, I want that one. Now sometimes they'll say view now, and that would be nice, but let's say it doesn't. I click on the title, and I wait for it to come up and say find it. And I know that you'd said you search the databases, and that's fine. So you can do the CINAHL or Medscape, but I can also do just kind of a big search there. I'm going to click on this find it piece, and hopefully it will come up with a link to the article. Okay, it doesn't. So here's what you're going to click now. You're going to go down here to request it from another library and get it through Interlibrary Loan. And the first time that you sign up for Interlibrary Loan, you're going to have to enter some of your information. Once you've signed up for it, all I have to do, look at this, it self-populates for me. It tells them the things I want, and the only thing I have to change is I check, will I accept it in another language? So if you spoke another language, you might say yes. I'm going to say no. It already puts in all the data I want, and I just put submit request. And typically within 2 to 4 days, they send me an electronic notification that it's been received. So the thing you'll have to do first is, if you haven't used Interlibrary Loan Service before, you just have to enter some information. As a BSU student, that's one of your perks, is that you have access to this service for free, and so you can order some articles that way. So that looks like a good article. So kind of be picky about the ones that you order through Interlibrary Loan, but that one looks like it would be a good article for your paper. I'm just going to click the back button again and look through a few more of these ones. So here's one on APRV on the effects of the water in the lung when patients have lung injury. It was a peer-reviewed article. It was in Chest, and it was published, it looks like, in 2011, so that looks like a good one. So I'll click on it. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm going to click find it and see if I have to order it. I think BSU subscribes to Chess, so we should be able to get the link right to the article. Oh, that's kind of disheartening. Maybe I clicked too fast. Huh. So let me go here. This one's not fun because then you have to kind of do it the hard way. All it's going to do is take me to the most recent article, so I'm going to look at where was it located. It was in Chest in 2011, and it looks like it was in this issue. And now I'm looking at the page numbers. I wonder if it was just a statement or something instead of that. So let's go to chest, and we're going to go to 2011, and it looks like it was maybe issue 12 or 3692. Let's see what we can find. 2011. So let's do then. And we're looking for, let's see if we can go back and make sense of that volume thing then. Or, wonder if I go back further, if it gives me more specific. There we go. It was volume 140. And so I can go back here. I'm looking for, well, volume 140. Now I need the issue. Isn't this fun to go back and forth, huh? Number 4. Number 4. Whoops, 140, number 4. That one, that one, that one. So October 2011 it looks like. And I'll bet it's under meeting abstracts because it had mentioned that. So we'll see when that opens. It may just be an abstract, but at least it will report on a study that was done or a patient. And while that's loading, let me go back here. It looks like it was on page 402A. All I did was open that in a new window so I can kind of let it load on its own. While I can go back here and look at some more of those articles. So I limited it to 2011, and maybe I want to open it back up to all years. So I'm going to go over here and open it back up to all years. So here's one of what it does to cardiac performance in patients who have ALI or ARDS. And so that one looks like it could be useful. It looks like it's 5 pages long. Excuse me. And it looks like it's a study. So that might be a helpful one. So you could click on that title again. We could see if we have a direct link to it. So I hope that you've seen how fairly quickly we can get you to at least more than the 2 articles you'd found. And click on the Find It. And it links me right to the article. So let's see, here's the PDF. And there it is. So I think I should have at least helped you a little bit get to some of those articles. The other thing you can do is remember these authors will have a reference section. So that might get you to other titles that would be helpful, and then you could just put those into the BSU library. So if I went back to Find It at Boise State Library and did, whoops, I went too far. If I clicked on articles and did a search just from here. So if you have any other issues, you're more than welcome to contact me. And I wonder if that other one ever loaded. Let's see if it did. Yeah, there it is. And it says free to view, so I can look for the one that was on APRV. And I'm not going to go through all these right now, but that would be how we would get to that one. Okay, so these are just going to be little short abstracts, but they will have reported on a study. Okay, and then they'll probably be published later or something. So I hope that's helped you a little bit. I didn't mean to leave you out there floundering on your own, and I hope this has given you a little bit of direction.